Hi everybody, it's Caterina from Imagine Life Coaching and the Gourmet Goddess. I'm here with week number 3 and video number 3, and I'm in my new home. So it's been a couple of weeks trying to get organized, getting it all set up, and as you can see, it's getting there, slowly but surely. Pretty exciting stuff. So today I want to make for you a dish that I found in a restaurant one day. I went to a restaurant and I was having shrimp, and they had this most amazing sauce to go with it, and I kind of know when I'm in a restaurant what some of the flavors are, and so I thought, well, I can recreate this at home. So I've recreated it at home, and a lot of you have asked for this sauce recipe. I like to put it over shrimp or over salmon, and today we've got some wild sockeye salmon that we're going to be working with. And we're also going to be making a saffron rice to go with it. So I'm going to get started and I'll show you how this all works. We're going to start with the sauce, and what we're going to do is take about a 1/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of grated ginger, and we're going to start letting that do its thing for a little while here, and we're just going to stir it around so that the sugar and the ginger are all just kind of getting happy together, and I'll just let that sit there for a minute. In the meantime, I wanted to give you a little tip about ginger, and I'll just move this out of the way, and how to peel ginger. The easiest way to peel ginger is with a spoon, if you can believe it. So if you take the back of your spoon and you start going back and forth on the ginger, it just peels it perfectly like that, okay? So I don't need this ginger, but I just wanted to show you, all right? Now we're gonna go back to the ginger and the sugar mixture, and you can see already that it's starting to get nice and moist. And we're just gonna let that cook down for a little bit. Not too long, but you'll see it get juicy here in a sec. There we go, it's starting to really go. So this is my candied ginger. All right, so in the meantime, what I wanna do is I wanna start cooking up the onions for the rice. So we're gonna add a little bit of butter and then some onions to our pan. So maybe a tablespoon of butter. And let that all melt down. There we go. And then we'll add the onions and let them cook away for a few moments. This is for the rice. And just let that cook away. In the meantime, it looks like the ginger and the sugar are just about perfect. You want it to be bubbling like this. You don't want it to go too much beyond that because it's gonna turn into concrete, basically. So I'm gonna take this off the heat and just let it cool off for a minute before we go on to the next step. All right, in the meantime, we've got the onions going in here. And as soon as that's ready, we're gonna add some chicken stock and the rest of it. All right, so now what we're gonna do with the salmon is to add just a little drizzle of olive oil. It really doesn't matter what kind. I always like the lemon olive oil. And then I'm going to put a little bit of sea salt over top of it. I like the Himalayan sea salt. It works really, really well for this type of thing. Okay. And then we're gonna plop that in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. And it's a 350 oven. All right. So the onions are doing great. Now with saffron, this is a saffron rice, and what we're going to be doing is adding saffron. Sometimes you can add turmeric, which is also kind of a cheater way to do it. Okay, so if you want to have a cheaper version of this type of rice, you can use turmeric, and sometimes people can't really tell unless they have a, you know, kind of a refined palate. So here we go. So this is ready. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the rice. So you need a cup of rice and just toss that around for a sec. And then what we're going to do is add 2 cups of really good chicken broth, okay? So if you don't make it homemade, then that's fine. Just make sure that you get a nice, a really nice version of the chicken broth from the store. And we're going to get that to come to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, some people have a tough time doing rice, But as soon as it comes to a boil, you turn it down and you cover it with a lid and let it simmer for, I don't know, 12 minutes and then check in on it. And at the end of that, we're going to be adding our saffron and we're going to be adding our parsley. So now we've got the rice is boiling, and I'm just going to add like a quarter of a teaspoon of saffron in. That might be a little bit more than a quarter of a teaspoon, but I like the taste of saffron. And we're going to stir that up a little bit, and I'm going to turn down the heat to a simmer, and then I'm going to cover it and let that cook away for a while. All right, and now what we're going to do is to put the sauce together. So we've got our candied ginger, and it's just perfect. You can see that it hasn't crystallized too much. It's just perfectly put together with the sugar. And I'm just going to throw this into one of these blenders. There we go. And some people add a chili pepper to it, but you don't really need to do that. The ginger's quite hot, so you don't actually need to do that. So we're going to add some prepared mayonnaise. You know, I'd love to show you how to make homemade mayonnaise, but in today's society, most people don't do that stuff, so I'm not going to do that. We're just going to use prepared. And the other thing is a couple of cloves of garlic and some cilantro. And that is it. I don't add the chilies myself because I just find that the ginger is just plenty hot enough. So we're going to put this together, and I'm going to put it on the blender, and we have to have a plug-in that works. We're still finding out things about this house. There you go. That looks pretty perfect to me. So at the end of this, we're going to add a little bit of lemon juice, which I have in the fridge. All right, so we're just going to cut a little bit of lemon. And the best way to do this without having a strainer is just to put it upside down in your hand, and that way you're going to catch all the little seeds. And then just stir it up a bit, and you're good to go. And this is a wonderful sauce for it. You can put it on chicken, you can put it on salmon, you can put it on any kind of seafood really, and it is beautiful. You'll get lots of rave reviews after this one. So the salmon is ready. I'm going to pull it out of the oven now. It's been about 15 or 20 minutes. And I just wanted to point a couple of things out to you here. This white stuff is okay. That is actually really good for you fat. It's the omegas, and it is really good for you. So I just wanted to point that out to you. So we're going to leave that for a sec while we wait for the rice to finish. As you can see here, the rice is just cooking away. It's doing a great job. It's turning yellow, orange almost. And I'm actually ready to throw in the parsley now. So this is just near the end. And we're just going to pour in the parsley and let it sit on top for a little while it cooks down the rest of the way. It's almost done. So we'll just cover that up. And there we go. We're going to take a look at the rice. It looks like it's pretty much done. So we're just going to toss in the parsley. Look at how beautiful that is. I mean, really, come on now. Look at that. It's beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. All right, so this is totally ready. And so I'm going to turn it off, and now we can start plating things and putting things together. All right. So what we're going to do here is to grab a piece of salmon. I don't know which end you like, but we'll just go like this. And put it on here. It's perfectly cooked. And even if it's slightly not appearing to be cooked in the middle, it really is still perfectly cooked. So don't ever worry about that, okay? And then what we're going to do is to grab some rice, which is gorgeous and delicious. And put that on the plate too. And some of our gorgeous sauce. Just like that. And that's it. That is dinner tonight at my house. I hope you enjoy this one. I know you're going to get lots and lots of compliments on it. So have fun. And, relationship question of the day. I have had so many this week from some of my clients, and one of them is, how do I know when it's the right guy or girl? Well, you know when it's the right guy or girl when you know that even you know, if they look fantastic or whatever on the outside, I call that the outer shell. You know, you want to make sure that you want to be with them for the rest of your life, and you want to make sure that even if they got sick or sad or whatever, that you would be there for them. That's a really big tip for you. So take that to heart and take that and see what you do with it. All right, so have a good week, and I will be cooking for you again next week. Have fun. Talk to you later.